Hey, what is up, guys? Origin Gamer here today, coming at you with a video of my top favorite, most underrated monsters. So, a lot of people really do doubt a lot of the monsters here on Summoner's War, and I really don't like, the people doubt a lot of the monsters that are in this game. Now, they each monster does have a specific purpose to which it can be used, and that's, what's so fun about it. So, basically, what we're going to do today is I'm going to pick 5 monsters of fire, water, and wind that are easily obtainable, that are nat 3 or lower, that are very good and very underrated. So we're going to start with fire. So for the first topic on the list, I'm going to have to pick Colleen. Now, Colleen, the fire harpoo, nat 2, very easy to pull from unknown scrolls. Why is she good? Well, it's not because of her first skill, Blackout Kick. Sure, it does have a chance of dropping enemy's attack, which is nice. And then it has Deadly Dart, prevents them from HP recovery, but that doesn't make Colleen good. What does is this move, Fiery Dance. Recovers the HP of all allies by 25% and increases their attack power for 3 turns. So, it is an AoE heal that heals by 25% and is an attack buff, and this monster is very easy to obtain and very easy to awaken at that. So Colleen really is one of the best healers in the game, just because of the fact that she's easy to obtain, very easy to awaken, and has a really, really good heal. So next on the list, I'm going to actually have to say Pharaoh. What makes him so good? He has a regular attack that can buff his attack power if he gets a crit hit. Okay, he's got his own attack buff. He has a skill that does damage equivalent to, proportionate to enemies' max HP, so very useful against bosses. And he has an AoE that throws fireballs to attack all enemies twice and inflict continuous damage for 2 turns. He's a boss killer, and not to mention Pharaoh's base attack at 4-star, 380. That's not that high, but that's also not that low. I mean, for just a little imp champion, he's not bad. With this skill, he does a lot of damage, and same with this one. I mean, he can buff his own attack. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. Also, let's take a gander at Foul, the Fire Serpent. What do I think about Foul? Well, he's got a leader skill, increases the HP of ally monsters in the arena by 21%. So very useful for HP comps. But he's fire, so he's used to tank water. He has Revenge that provokes enemies with a 75% chance and returns 30% of the inflicted damage for 3 turns. So he literally can just tank and tank and tank and tank all day, and you can't say shit about it. Then he has this skill, attacks the enemy 3 times with energy balls, each having a 30% chance to drop the attack bar by 30%, and the damage increases according to your max HP. He's going to be really useful for the Necro Dungeon, being able to drop its attack bar and hit multiple times with one attack, being able to break the shield a lot faster. Now, their cooldown rate is only 3 turns. That's really easy to get around with the right rune set. That's very easy to get around, and it's like, oh hey, that's some nice cooldown you got there. Let's make it better. And it's got this. They can remove beneficial effects, so it can remove buffs, attack 3 times, and drop attack bar, and be a natural tank that does 30% of the inflicted damage back to the enemy. Really useful, as well as in arena, increases HP. He's really not bad. One monster I do have to say that is very underrated is the Fire Lizard Man, Igmanodon. Why is he useful? Well, he's got a passive called Brutal Skin. It decreases the chance of being hit by a crit hit by 50%, and decreases the attacker's attack speed for 1 turn with a 50% chance. So, he really can help to slow down bosses from being able to attack. He can slow down water units from being able to attack if you're playing, and if you're using him like against a water comp, it can slow them down because if he's the only fire, they're going to have to attack him. Destructive Blow. The attack power increases, your HP decreases, and your critical rate increases by 30%. The attack power increases according to defense. He is an absolute tank. He is a fire version of Copper. And what I mean by fire version of Copper, he can hit massive crit damaging hits off of Destructive Blow, as well as he has a chance to knock their defense down. His first skill hits twice, not to mention that. Drops attack, drops defense, and can inflict continuous damage. That is amazing, and it scales on its defense as far as the damage that's done. You can run him Revenge and just constantly defense drop. Like he is a fire Darien pretty much. He can, except for he does more. He attacks twice, not once. Put Revenge on him, he'll attack twice. He can drop defense and put on dots. And because his first skill attacks twice, he's going to be extremely useful against the Necro Dungeon. Now, for the last monster, I'm thinking Gunpyong. I know a lot of people hate the Taoists and think that they're absolutely trash. Well, when they're awakened, they get a critical attack chance boost, and their first skill has an additional 30% crit rate. So, you can easily ruin this Rage Blade, attack crit damage tech, and get a nuke out of this. Now, there's a few other things that make him useful. Aside of his, first skill having a 30% chance to increase its critical rate by 30% and being able to get high amounts of crits on its first attack, it has an AoE. Burning Desert. Attacks all enemies 2 times with a sandstorm and decreases the attack gauge by 30% with a 30% chance. Give him a little bit of extra accuracy. Buff this up. Good against bosses. Good against whole teams. And not to mention, Flame of Ascension inflicts great damage to the enemy with a great flame. I had one of these at 5 stars. With shit runes, it would crit about 30k off of Flame of Ascension. This guy is ridiculously strong. He is ridiculously good. And the fact that he gets a critical rate buff when he's awakened makes him good. As well as Igmanodon gets a critical rate buff when it's awakened. On my baby account, I have Igmanodon, 61% crit rate with like 110 crit damage. He does some good damage, and it's just on my baby account right now. So I think that's it for the fire monsters. Let's see, we went over Colleen, went over Pharaoh, Fowl, Igmanodon, and yep, that's 5. So now let's go into water and see what water has to offer. Let's see. What is good in water that I actually really like? What's good in water that I really like? This guy, Coon. Now, he is a golem. He is fusion food, but he can also be better than fusion food. He is a really good farmer. He has massive defense, so he's a very good tank. He has a passive that decreases damage by 40% when your HP falls below half. Shut up, phone. Don't tell me you're dying. So, it's got this. The nice little passive that it has. Oh, it says it's on 5% battery. That's lovely. So I gotta make this quick. So it's got the nice passive. It's got Frostblow. That's an AoE that has a chance to freeze. And then its its first skill has a 25% chance of provoking and stunning, which is good. So you can easily go Revenge on Coon with like Revenge, Despair, defense percent, defense percent, defense percent, and just make him a tank, and just make him a stunny tank. He's really useful in that regards. The Water Amazon. She increases accuracy of all ally monsters by 22% with her leader skill, so that's effective for arena. Meteor Shot attacks all enemies 4 times with the volley of arrows. Each one has a 75% chance to decrease the attack gauge by 15%. So give her a little bit of accuracy. With this, she'll be hitting AoEs, hitting 4 times. Make her crit damage. Just like make her a nuke. She does lots of damage. Ice arrow, she shoots 2 arrows. They have a 25% chance to freeze. And then she has accurate shot that attacks with a 30% chance of landing a critical hit. So she is extremely good because higher crit chance, chance of freezing and hitting twice, and hitting 4 times with a chance to drop the attack gauge. She is going to be really good against the Necro Dungeon. Let's see, what else do we have? Daharenos, natural 2-star. You can make him an HP attack tank. He has this ability, Shadow Defense. Creates a shield that absorbs damage equivalent to 100% of your max HP for 3 turns. And then you have Icy Claw, that inflicts continuous damage when you get a crit hit. And then Element Explosion causes an elemental explosion to inflict damage proportionate to your enemy's max HP. This has a pretty big multiplier, actually. Daharenos at 5 stars has kicked some major ass. I have used this at 5 stars. It kicks some ass. It's definitely worth trying out, making it an HP tank with a lot of attack power. Really good. Let's see. Konamiya. I know a lot of people really hate Konamiya and don't see the practical use in Konamiya, but I, on the other hand, do see the practical use in Konamiya. I was actually one of the few people who hated Konamiya for a while until I actually played around with it. On Violent Runes, this thing is insane. So, it has a chance to stun with its regular attack. Then it has Resurge to fill an attack bar and increase its attack power for 1 turn. So, immediate attack, do big damage. And then it has a heal to remove all harmful effects on all allies and recovers HP by 15% each. When you max skill it up, it becomes 45%. With her on Violent Runes, with this, you can just easily heal a lot. And efficiently remove debuffs, continuously attack, and continuously stun. Konamiya is a very fast HP tanky motherfucker. It is worth checking out. And then I think we're going to discuss Megan. A lot of people do know the practical use in Megan, and I completely agree. But a lot of people don't think Megan is, really that good in battle. But she has more uses than just being in arena because of her leader skill increasing the attack power of monsters in the arena by 21%. Which is really nice and all to be able to have, but that's not what makes her good. She has this move right here, Spell of Strengthening, to increase the attack bar by 20% and increase attack power and defense for 2 turns. It is an AoE effect. It's a huge big buff that raises the attack bar and attack power and defense power, which is really good. And then you have Toad Poison to damage the enemy by pouring poison and remove beneficial effects, as well as you have a 75% chance to block them from gaining beneficial effects. So you can remove effects and block them from having effects at all. So she's a really good stunner for buff teams, as well as she has her first skill does dots. You can give her focus just for that little bit of extra accuracy needed to buff this to nearly 100%. So that's pretty much it for water. Let's go ahead and take a gander at wind. So, number 1 on my list, Ralph. A lot of people hate imps, and a lot of people think that they're really bad. But honestly, I don't see why you'd hate on Ralph. He is a massive nuker. At 3-star max, 214 attack. At 3 stars. This is a natural 2. That's not bad. So, he has an AoE that hits multiple enemies at once with the Fierce Spear. So it hits the first enemy that you targeted, and then it hits everything else. This does massive damage. Heart Pierce, it increases a 50% crit rate bonus. Make it a massive crit nuker. And Lightning Spear, if you get a crit hit, you get a buff in attack speed, being able to go faster and faster and faster. Ralph is an amazing natural 2-star. Next on the list, we have... Everyone knows that Bernard is good and that Shannon is good. Let's not talk about them. Copper. A lot of people say Copper is trash. I run mine on Violent Runes. He just attacks, 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 and attacks and procs for days. He can ignore defense based off of your defense, and this deals massive damage. He has an AoE that has defense break, which is really good. And then it has a regular hit that can stun. Copper is amazing, very defensive, 374. Mine that I have on this account is 1800 defense on violent runes. He is amazingly strong. He just goes and goes and goes and goes. Another one that I find very nice is Roger, the Wind Bounty Hunter. He increases accuracy of allied monsters in guild battles by 26%. Okay, good for, like, bomb teams. He has a Lucian-like skill. It unleashes a relentless attack of arrows on all enemies, attacking them 4 times each, and gains another turn if the enemy dies. He is a massive nuke with his own violent effect. He is really good. Then he has Arrow Purification that can remove enemies' buffs, which is really good. And then when you do, he gains 50% of his attack bar back. And then Bullseye has a 25% chance to ignore defense. Give him a little bit of accuracy, and there he goes. He'll ignore defense, deal massive damage. Now, one monster I do find very underrated is Dagor. Dagor, being a fusion material, a lot of people overlook his practical use. So not only does he buff the defense of ally monsters with wind attribute by 30%, he has a few good skills. He has one called Flashing Strike that strikes an enemy camp to inflict damage on all enemies, decreasing the attack bar by 30%. So I assume he means by, I assume it attacks the enemy leader, and then inflicts damage on all enemies, and dropping their attack bar by 30%. It is an AoE attack bar drop, which is really good. Cry of the Battlefield increases the attack power of all allies for 2 turns and removes 2 harmful effects, and then Uppercut strikes and provokes the enemy for 1 turn with a 50% chance. Very good monster. Armada, the Wind Serpent. Blessing. Reduces damage dealt by fire attributes by 50%. Okay, it's a really good fire tank. Well, most of the meta in the game right now is fire. So Armada gets around that really easily. Thunderblast inflicts damage proportionate to your max HP and reduces the attack speed for 2 turns. Really good. I've seen this do like 30-40k damage. And then you have Sonic Boom. Attacks with a strong Sonic Boom and removes the beneficial effect with a 50% chance and has a 30% chance to strike again. Armada is a very high HP tank monster. I've seen Armadas with about 50,000 HP and have done about 30 to 40,000 damage with Thunder Blast. Let's see, is that actually it? We had Ralph, we had Dagor, we had Copper, we had Armada. Okay, one more monster. Oh, sorry, we had Roger as well. So that's actually all 5. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my dragon, very wonderful dragon. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe today for more Summoners War videos, and I will catch you later in the next video. And if you have any opinions about this, like, underrated monster list, go ahead and let me know. I'm very appreciative of any little bit of support that you guys can give, and any little bit of information that you think, would actually help me, figure out a little bit more about this game that makes this game a little bit better than it actually is. So thank you for watching, subscribe today, and peace out.